Where have you gone? I mean, your video's off.
I'm here.
Okay. But yeah, good news. Session recording has started, and I am just admitting more people coming into this live event. So we will be having more and more coming in. Can people share the videos, Sway? I don't know if you can have that facility.
No, that will not be possible, Vijay, until we authorize.
Okay, okay, okay. I think participants' permission.
They
So
can
we
react.
can allow
We can
camera.
chat
Why can't we
on.
just allow camera? Okay, I've done that. So okay, there we go. So yeah, the camera is on. So yep. Uh, if anybody wants to put their camera on, they're most welcome. We'll be starting in less than 1 minute at sharp 11 o'clock. So now are things there.
It's okay.
What a
Uh,
nightmare we had this morning with the technical glitch.
yeah, that's how it is with
Okay.
technology.
Yes, 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 yes. I mean, well, anyway, one of the things, and this is what we are going to talk about, change. So, welcome, Amit and Chintan for now. I'm sure we will have more people joining us. My name is Vijay Mistry, and I'm the CEO and founder of Rent Director. I'm based here in London, United Kingdom. The weather is not as favorable as I would have wanted, but I know many of you are from Africa, so I'm sure you got a better weather pattern. And with me today is my very good friend and my business partner as well, Soin Shah. I'll pass it over to Soin. Soin, first and foremost, you are sharing the toolkit. Yeah, please share the redefining the leadership mindset. Yeah, this is the presentation. I'll pass it over to Soin. Soin, over to you.
Hi, guys. Welcome on board to this uh, session of redefining the leadership mindset for 2024. I can tell you for a fact we have got lots of insights to share, and as usual, the maestro of this event is Vijay Mistry, and definitely we will be giving you some insights that will be very valuable. A couple of house rules though, and as usually we say that please take notes, and of course you're free to post your questions in the Q&A, and we will be responding to them as we speak. Hold on, there is a bit of an issue here, just 1 second. Yeah. And before we get the show on the road, I must say a warm welcome to all of you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all wherever you are. We've got many participants wanting to join. Although, yes, we had a bit of technical hitch. Apologies for that. Lakshman Rao wants to join in. Yes, welcome. Um, I think as we wait for the participants to join in, I will let Vijay do a bit of introduction, and then we can take it from there. Vijay?
Thank you, Soin. And again, just like what Soin mentioned, really apologize for this technical glitch. Somehow we went live on the first link and whatnot, and we are pleased at least you have managed to join us for now. But we have a very big list, and I'm sure more and more are joining in. Now, what we are gonna do is, and with your permission, we are also recording this so that we can pass it over to you. We can give you this recording so that you can, it will help you in 2024. The whole intention and the purpose and the mission of Soin and me is to see you be prepared for 2024, and we'll show you the common pattern of what we have seen in 2023 as we just fold up 2023 next 16 days or so, and then we're in 2024. So let's start this particular presentation, this particular event, and it's all about redefining the leadership mindset for 2024. And by the way, we'll also be giving you disruptive strategies for achieving game changing results. And what we want to do is we want to we want to give you a different perspective, and we will be giving you three disruptive strategies to help you. Plus you'll also get a toolkit, so we're going to give you a toolkit as well, so that you can use it. And I press upon you, my dear friends, please make sure that you repeat looking into that particular toolkit, because it is going to give you a different set of mindset. That switch, that transformation, that turning point will only happen if you just take one or two bite-sized, you know, uh, shifts in your behavior, in the way you're doing your work, and you will see the change. You will see the acceleration in growth and leadership as well as we move into 2024. So, without much further ado, let's go to the next slide. Soin, please, if you can. He's holding the controls. Soin, by the way, is going to be taking control of all the slides here. So, just a very brief 50,000 feet introduction. I don't want to spend too much time, talking about all the accomplishments we've done. But just to give you an idea, Soin and I, we've got decades of experience in scaling businesses multifold, even post pandemic, by the way. We have coached and consulted over 100 solopreneurs, CEOs, executives, and leaders post pandemic again. We've got award winning, game changing master courses. We're going to talk about that towards the end of this particular presentation. Both Soin and I, we've got finance background, and Soin's a fellow chartered certified accountant. I'm also a fellow chartered certified accountant. I'm an MBA in finance. I'm a fellow chartered management account. And Soin has got quite a few other degrees as well. I'm not going to go to that level. But we are also leadership and board accountability partners, which goes 5 steps above a leadership coach. And it's a complete different level altogether, where we do coaching, mentoring, advising, training, but most important, shifting behaviors. So we're going into that evolution stage of leadership coaching. So anything you want to add to this particular point before we move to the next level?
I think, Vijay, you've covered it well. Thank you. And I think we are actually here to contribute and share insights. As much as possible, we would like to make it as much interactive as possible. As we speak, we are admitting many more participants who are in the queue. Um, I guess because of the technical hitch, the links might have been sent back to you on email. Our apologies for that. But let's get the show on the road, Vijay.
Fantastic. Yes, let's move to the next slide. And we want to start. Swin, can we go to the next slide? Thank you. Now, Soin and I, we've seen a common pattern of challenges which we want to talk to you about. And this is what we have seen in 2023. So we just want to share some of the challenges that we've seen leaders face. First and foremost is overwhelm and stress. My dear friends, I think, I can't emphasize enough as to, talking to leaders, we always see this. And there was this director of this international professional firm. I mean, Soin and I, we were coaching him. And what happened is that this particular director was he was just saying that there's so much of micromanagement and there was so much of firefighting going on, that he was really completely bombarded top down, and even delegation and everything from that particular standpoint. And we see this happening time and again. That is one of the key challenges we've seen. The second one is rising cost, and again, lower profits and earnings. And I'll pass it over to Soin, what do you need to add to this particular point?
No, actually, I'm looking at asking the audience, and we I'm about to put a poll into what could have been the challenges that people have faced. Just give me a minute so that we can put the poll into motion. Just 1 second.
Soin, I'm changing the settings slightly, and
Yeah.
I'm allowing even the microphone for everyone. Although I would request everybody to keep your microphone on mute Until such time that you want to speak, you can raise your hand and we will allow you. So, yes, I mean, this is just a quick poll. And this is, by the way, interactive because we want your perspectives, we want your contribution, we want your questions, we want to make an impact and make sure that we help you in progressing as we move forward. So,
I
20
think
seconds.
we'll give 20 seconds for this poll to run, and then we can actually announce. It's actually in progress. I've gotten 5 votes. Yes, they're going up. Yeah.
By the way, there are no right and wrong answers. Everybody's got their own focus points. So just feel free to put whatever it is, but we just want to see what's out there and what people are facing.
Yeah. All right. I think, shall we conclude with that?
Yes, please.
All right.
Go for it, soon.
So basically, yes, and there is your answer at this stage. Basically, the biggest challenge that has been faced in 2023 has been economic instability. Yes, technological disruptions is another aspect. I'm sure there are positives and negatives of that. A bit of political unrest, yes. So I think that sets the stage on what we are talking about. And Vijay, you can take it on further on discussing about economic instability.
Sure. We couldn't see the poll results, by the way, so maybe you might be exhibiting, but we couldn't see the percentages or
Yeah.
that particular aspect of it. But anyway, here's the thing: we know about the economic stability, and this is why we were talking about the rising cost, the low profits and earnings which many uh, companies faced. We know the challenges that very many faced, and yes, thank you. Now we can see the poll results, and we can see what everybody. And by the way, everybody is right here, so you can see the economic instability, technological disruptions, and that's what we are talking about. So the other thing I want to move, and I want to, we want to condense as much value as we can moving forward. So the thing is, this rising cost has been a key concern as well. The other challenge that we have seen is culture. And I was coaching this one particular executive in India, a senior executive, and he was just telling me about the culture disconnect that he has. And he's saying, despite trying so many different things, he simply couldn't get the connectivity in place, and he was really frustrated. And I see this happening time and again, which is impacting the mental health, which is a key component. And this is the reason why we are doing this leadership mindset event altogether. The other challenge is obviously wrong decisions, and let's look at the macro level. I mean, we know the mistake which Elon Musk has made, from Twitter's original value to what it is now. We know a mistake which Vishal Gurj, this guy of Better.com, has made. Firing 900 people over Zoom. I don't think so. That's a good way of an approach that you should have. Or there are very many others as well who, they who had to uh, who made the wrong choices. For example, OpenAI. We know about OpenAI, Altman, and what happened is he was ousted out by the board as CEO, and 75 to 80% of the employees threatened to leave the company. So you can imagine those sort of decisions which can really have an adverse impact altogether, to the success of any organization. So wrong decisions was another key challenge. The other challenge we had was technological advancements. And again, this is something we've done the poll, and you can see the results as well. That technological advancements really took center stage. It played a key role in very many businesses. not only from a cost effective standpoint. Now you can have certain expenses which you can really transition and have AI for efficiency, but also marketing, also sales conversion, and many other aspects, even the productivity, performance, everything. You get different sorts of heat maps and all. So this was something very many companies were lagging rather than leading, and that was another key component. And of course, high competition. Even those who are disrupting the market, I mean, there are very many disruptors, but now even the disruptors are being disrupted as well. I mean, this morning I saw this news that Etsy, a company here which sells online and all, they are slashing over 100, 200 staff of theirs, cost cutting measures as well. I'm not saying you don't do that, but again, the high competition and the margins and the competitive landscape we are in, it's just one of those inevitable moves that very many companies are making. But high competition, these are some of the key challenges, and this is what has really caused companies to really struggle, and very many leaders to really face a lot of challenges. So do you want to add anything before we move to the next step of giving the 5 leadership mindsets?
Thank you, Vijay. I just want to touch on the main topics, but I think you've covered it well. My point is that overwhelm and stress normally comes with basically not making decisions at the right time, and you keep on wondering why the decisions have not been taken. And also, there is a tendency, I would say, if we were to look at how the stress comes up, is actually not giving yourself a bit of a pause and reflecting upon the issue and addressing it correctly. What's happening in this current dynamic is that you always have the aspect of making a decision on the fly. Yes, it's great, it needs to be done because we are in a dynamic world, but I would still say give it a thought, give it a pause, put an analysis on it, run it through your head, and make a decision. Indecision doesn't help, and that actually leads to a lot of overwhelming stress. I mean, the current, if you look at what is the statistics on this, most of the time, out of 10 decisions, if you have a habit of making decisions at the right time, you will see that almost 8 decisions are right. The 2 decisions, maybe they've not been right, but that doesn't stop you from growing and progressing in life. Yes, in this today's world, we have to get accustomed with the current inflationary level of things, but that's the norm, and that's where actually I would say that's where the opportunity is. You talk about a lot of companies running away from these kind of opportunities, but actually, if you look at how Warren Buffett was talking about it, is actually this is the time to get in. Culture plays a very dynamic aspect of how organizations can actually grow. There is this aspect of silos which we have seen in various companies, and it's been affecting companies' growth. The only way to cut out this and reduce stress is to make sure that teams operate in a very congruent way, and the talent that is there is actually allowed to nurture, is allowed to blossom, and able to drive results in various aspects. I have seen this in various companies, that there are people who have got serious depth of talent, but it's actually suppressed. And let me put it this way: most of the time, the rot starts at the top. Let me put it this way: we've always been saying that you know it's always been a disjointed kind of aspect coming from the top. So we need to address it right from the top and address the root cause, and let the talent grow. I talked about wrong decisions. Vijay touched upon Elon Musk. That's a clear example of I mean, look at what's happening with the X. Um, it's not showing a positive image to the outside world, and it's reflecting on the company's capitalization. Technological advancements are always going to be the edge, and they need to be embraced, and that's what actually will make the companies progress. um, well, competition, I would say, is good. Is always good for you to sharpen yourself. I would say competition, the more the better, and actually that's how you differentiate yourself as a company in the market will actually tell yourself will bring yourself apart from competition. Over to you, Vijay.
Thank you, Soin, for that comprehensive insight as far as the challenges are concerned. And yes, again, once again, look, I apologize. We had a bit of a technical glitch, but we'll make it up. We'll make sure that you get all this recording. And I'll also share another video which I'm doing, which is the 5 biggest mistakes leaders must avoid in 2024. So you'll even get that as well. So let's move forward. And good to have you, Subhash. If you can please mute for the time being, would really appreciate if you can just mute so that we don't get any feedback in our noise. Thank you very much. Okay, so moving forward. Now, look, my friends, please make notes like what Soin has mentioned. Please make notes. This is so important. I'm telling you, 1 or 2 points can be the big shifts, can be the big turning points for you in 2024. And we want to make this a year of success for you. That's our mission. First and foremost is a growth mindset. When can you have a growth mindset? Is when you are curious, when you are connected to your purpose. And you need to ask this question and be very honest. Are you enjoying what you're doing? Because if you're enjoying what you're doing, it's just not about success. It's not only about happiness, but it's success, happiness, and health. Because it's very important that you look after your health, have those right energy levels, and then have that deep connectivity with your purpose. If that is the case, then what's going to happen is, with a growth mindset, you'll be curious, you want to find out more, and you'll start asking more questions. That's the first thing. Secondly, is in a growth mindset, you're going to be proactive. 80% you will be looking for solutions, 20% you'll be focusing on the challenge itself. So whatever challenge you have, spend 20%, identify what the root cause is, but 80% use your time constructively to look for solutions. That makes you more proactive. That is going to make more impact. That is going to add more traction. That is going to help you to stretch your thinking as well. So that core component is very important. Learning and development, my dear friends. And I'm not only talking about professional learning and development, personal development as well, your inner alignment as well. So all that are components of a growth mindset. So work on having this growth mindset. And there's a research done. There's much research out there that a growth mindset is, you'll get 20-30% more effectiveness than what you are with other things that you are doing. So your thought process, you and we have on average about 60,000 thoughts a single day. So you need to really look into what your thought process is and how you are going to work towards transforming your thinking towards being more of a growth mindset. I'm not talking about being just optimistic, I'm talking about being realistic, but at the same time, seeing that if you have one challenge, there are 2, 3, 4, 5 opportunities that you will be able to see. So look for those opportunities with every challenge you get. So I'll pass it over to you towards the end. Let me finish this, and then maybe you can add your few insights. Is that all right, Soin?
That's perfect, Vijay. Go
Okay,
on.
excellent. Excellent. So then we're looking at the inclusion mindset. And here's the thing. If you are a leader, if you have a company, CEO, chairperson, whatever your title is, do you recognize in a team, do you recognize one single person or the whole entire team? So you need to look into the dynamics as to what is happening with your team. You need to make sure there is equality, there's diversity, and there's inclusivity. including in your hiring as well. You need to have the right fit. It's not about likability. I see many who go for the likability factor but don't look at the non-negotiable criteria. I'm not going to go very deep into this one, but inclusion mindset, my dear friends, is very important, making sure that everybody is recognized. And in inclusion mindset, you need to work on your emotional intelligence as well. Look at what the other person is feeling, and empathy comes into play, emotional intelligence comes into play, and you will see that you'll start realizing, not from a ground level but from a 5,000, 10,000 feet standpoint, you'll be able to see the recognition of what your team are doing. I'm here to tell you, your team is your highest leverage if you've got the right people. I'm not saying there are very many who are the wrong fit as well, but if you have the right fit, then your team are your highest leverage, and you need to recognize that. Now, when we talk about ambidexterity mindset, it took quite a bit of time for us to think about this particular aspect. And here's the thing: is that this is where there is a conflict in the capabilities of leaders. And what do I mean? I'll give you specific examples. You have efficiency on one side, but at the same time you have innovation on the other side. So do you spend time with efficiency, yet you have the capability to innovate? So you need to integrate and balance. Another example I'll give you: short term and long term. So short term, you are looking into how you can make profits and all, but then you need to even have those strategic mindset of making sure that you have the right balance. I normally tell companies that now it's not about, if you're looking into your management accounts, yes, that's fine, you could do that every month, but the strategic element is extremely important. And I normally tell companies to, our clients, to do this every month. We do it with them every single month. By the way, our service is like 1 year service, but we are very, very specific and surgical when it comes to what specifics we have to look into. And in an ambidexterity mindset, we are also looking into experimentation. So you might be experimenting something, but at the same time, you're also looking at process improvement. So I hope you get the gist that you've got these conflicting capabilities. And in some cases, you could be having priorities, and you need to allow your team to sort of pivot from one priority to another, but be coherent with the goals of the whole organization. So work on this ambidexterity mindset, which is going to play an important role because of the technological developments, because of the disruptions taking place. Your pipeline of processes is going to be different. So work on how you're going to really uh, have the right sort of time leverage, the time construct itself, how you're going to use it, because that is going to be core to the growth of your organization. Agile mindset. One of the challenges many face, and I'll tell you this, that for the timid, those who are timid, change is frightening. Change is frightening. For the comfortable, and there are very many, not only business owners, but there are very many in departments as well, who just are comfortable. They are happy where they are, business as usual. Change is threatening. But for those who are confident, my dear friends, for those who are confident, change opens to new opportunities. So I want you to have that mindset. This is why I was talking about having that growth mindset as well. Agile, when you can have that flexibility to adapt to the changing environment. And I can tell you, I can put my hand on my heart and tell you that 2024, they expect more disruptions, expect more uncertainties, expect more changes. It's going to shift even more. So you need to be agile, you need to be flexible, you need to adapt, you need to make sure that you're course correcting as you're moving forward. This is why I press upon you: strategic insights every 4 weeks. Make sure you have a session, even if it is for a couple of hours. Make sure you have that. And finally, digital and innovative mindset as well. All of your team members must have digital and innovative insights. It's a no-brainer. You need it means you need it. So we know what it takes to have that particular mindset. But here's the problem: how many of you here, and I'm sure many of you here, how many of you have got digital assets? And by digital assets, I mean a database. I have a database. Soin's got a database. I'm sure you all have a database. Could be on LinkedIn, it could be your company database that you have, you could be having an email list. Like some of you have joined in because I did an email campaign. So you must be having those digital assets. How are you utilizing it? And I can tell you, and Soin and I, we can promise you, you're putting money on the table because those assets are not fully utilized. That's a discussion for another time. Right now, I'll just pass it over to Soin to add his two pence to this particular discussion.
I think, firstly, I would like to make it as interactive as possible, Vijay. Let me put in this poll for us to gather what's the audience thinking about this. It's a bit different from what we're talking about, but let's see what's the response from the audience.
And again, there's no right or wrong answer. And by the way, Soin's using AI to do these polls as well, I believe. Am I right, Soin?
Yes,
So, in all
did it
transparency, these are AI driven
has it come up?
polls. So, I don't know how they are going to come out.
Sorry.
If you can't, we can move on.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Okay. What kind of mindset should leaders embrace? A growth mindset, adaptive mindset, inclusive mindset? Again, my answer would be all of them. I mean, that's personally my mindset. But if I had to choose one, I would of course go for the growth mindset because that sort of is a holistic picture. And my dear friends, you can obviously submit your response. I mean, there's, like I said, all the answers are correct. Any poll results, Swin?
Yeah. Think we're still seeing some results trickle in.
Mm.
Yeah, but I guess we can say clearly it's a growth mindset is what has needs to be embraced.
Worked on. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I just yeah.
Sure. You want to add something?
I wanted to just add. I know we've talked about ambidexterity and agile. I earlier touched upon how you got to take decisions on the fly, but make sure when you take a decision on the fly, there is a bit of analysis to it. It doesn't take long. Analysis can be done back of the paper. Doesn't matter. You don't need to have major amounts of data. But nowadays, people work with big data, and that's really important. I mean, your decision can be swayed very much by the information that is in front of you. So it's important that you take decisions, but use the figures. Numbers don't lie. So this is key as we go forward on how you go to embrace and work with the growth mindset. I will go to the next slide, which is a very important one. That is the three key disruptive strategies. Vijay,
Yeah. Yes. Let me just share my perspective, and then so in or do you want to share your perspective?
please go ahead.
Okay. The first one is elevated decision making. So when we are talking about elevated decision making in 2024, consider this: if you've got a team, if you've got people working for you, what I propose is, and this is something I can just advise, is that depending on the size and complexity of your organization, see if you can empower your team members to be given the authority to make certain decisions. So, empower them. So, the decision making is not clogged, because it's going to be more complex as we move forward. So, what you need to do is release your time and delegate some of the decision making from the tone at the top, as we call it. So, if you are directors or executives, you need to make sure that you try seeing how you can permeate. A common question I normally get is that, Vijay, if I do that, isn't, I mean, I wouldn't have that control. It's not that I will be having the control. And how am I going to really handle it? And do you think my team members are capable? So here are things that I want to share with you. Number one, when it comes to capability, you need to make sure that you give them the orientation, you need to give them the procedures, but at the same time, the training and development. That is very important. Number two, you need to have what I call proscribed. I don't want to use the words policies, because many people, they just switch off when I call them policies. But have those blueprints. And when I say proscribed, I'm sure many of you must be watching football, or you know how football is being played, soccer, and you'll see there's a boundary within which they play football. So have that particular playground, and this you can do it for your departments, or you can do it how you want it, but you will be able to achieve what I call operational excellence, and you'll be able to have feedback as well. I'm not going to go too deep into this at this particular point in time, but there are systems that you can have where you'll get feedback and you can see it. And the third thing that you need to do is have an appraisal, have a cost audit, or have an audit taking place, internal audit for the systems and what is going on. And you will see that you got your systems and everything, but you'll free a lot of time. So work on elevated decision making. The second, when we are talking about collective autonomy, I want to shift it to co-creation rather, because collective autonomy and elevated decision making, I'll wrap it into one. But the second disruptive strategy, and please write this down, is co-creation. The future is going to be on co-creation. So what do I mean by co-creation? Co-create with your stakeholders. In other words, you could have teams meeting up internally, have a golden hour. You could have it every 2 weeks. That's what I propose to companies, is that for 1 hour, just let them brainstorm and co-create. Find out, you might be having products, you might be having services, where you'll be able to see what you can really co-create. And you can do the same with your customers and clients as well, and see what you can co-create. Why is this important? Because you are aligning to the customer behavior, you are aligning to what the customers and clients want. And this is very important. See if you can have this in your particular business, and again other stakeholders as well. But for now, you need to work on co-creation. Even your supply chain, for that matter, you could come up with a co-creation model, which is going to drive more cost efficiency, and that's going to increase your margins as well. Look into how you can co-create, because that is a core element. And the third is experimentation. Now look, you and I know that one thing that's going to happen is you need to take risks. I know that you have taken risks in the past. You need to take risks. If you take those bite-sized risks, just bite-sized risks, five might fail. Five of the risks that you take might fail, but there might be one risk you take which can really have a lot of leverage. Experiment, have a research, sort of internal research sort of department or something, or a research unit, as I would put it. But experiment, come up with new ideas, come up with new insights, innovate, and find out. So one question I got is, where do I get the money from? Where do I get the resource from? And here's the thing that you need to do is that from your cash flows, you need to come out with a small sinking fund, as I put it. So have that small sinking fund, just a small element which you can use to experiment. So you need to find, because that is the future. Without that, you won't be able to disrupt your market, or you won't be able to have that competitive edge. So I press upon you to consider looking at it from an experimentation standpoint. So, and I'll pass it over to you. We've got about 10, 15 minutes. We'll wrap this up. So, over to you.
Yeah, I think on the three key disruptive strategies you have clearly elaborated very well. I would just like to touch upon collective autonomy. It's always important to have your team um, involved in making decisions. This will reduce your overwhelm, it will reduce your stress, it will bring key issues to the fore, and there will be solutions at hand. It's always important whenever somebody reports on matters that they have challenges with, they would normally have a solution, and it's only by probing them we can actually improve on the solution and take it forward from there. So this also touches on experimentation. As I earlier said, 8 out of 10 decisions are normally on the right side. If you stop making decisions and you stop making experiment on certain aspects, you have a aspect of paralysis. Analysis paralysis is what I call it. Most of the time we end up analyzing information for too long until the point where we don't make any decision. So I think I will move to the next slide, and that's about tools and strategies, which
Yes, yes. And here's the thing, because we really apologize of the technical glitch, and you can see it's going to happen. We are simply not perfect. I mean, we've practiced doing this session yesterday as well, but this morning we had a little bit of a challenge. So the thing is that we are offering a free session as well as we move forward. So if anybody is interested, please reach out to me, and we will give you a free session to help you move forward. So, and what's this?
uh, just 1 second. Trying to get the toolkit out so that it can be downloaded. Just give me a minute.
It's all right, or we can email it if that's a challenge.
Yep, it's been shared.
Okay, good.
Um, I'm not sure whether this technology allows the audience to download this, but
No, it's
from
all
our
right. What? Let's
yeah,
do one thing. We'll email this particular toolkit to all of you
yeah,
after this particular event. Can we go back to the PowerPoint? So, let's finish the PowerPoint, and we will
sure.
share this particular toolkit. Yeah. Okay. Just go to the slide where we were. Okay, just okay, stick to this. Now, look, we have just released a program which is called Become a High Performing Leader in 90 Days. And this, if you are looking into uh, being more confident, positioning yourself, making effective decisions, making an impact, increasing your earnings, and progressing in your career, then this is a program which has just been released. It's just been released last week, so you are the first people to know about this, and it has got 7 modules over 4.5 hours. So it's like a 1.5 day of deep immersive workshop. It's online, by the way, and you get a certificate from Renter Director after 90 days. It's got a manual and a workbook, but the workbook is like your go-to place. It replaces, in my opinion, it's an alternate to having a leadership coach. 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, this workbook is going to be like, something, your go-to place. So that is something, a core pillar in this particular whole program. And obviously it's got a green light status award from the UK Trade and Investment. So it's got credence, and you get lifetime access. But then, next slide, Soin, hi Soin, can you hear me? Okay, here's the thing. What happens after 90 days? And this is why this particular program, it it stands apart from everything else. You will get lifetime access. And again, when I talk about lifetime, as much as I can, my capability, I'll be sharing one video with a toolkit every month. so that it becomes, the you keep on raising your standards. And at no extra cost, this is worth $997 yearly. You get it absolutely at no cost. So if you invest in this particular training master course, then what's going to happen is you'll get lifetime access to this subscription based program, which is worth $997. But that's not all. You'll also get some bonuses. Just move to the next slide, please. Okay, you'll also get these three other programs, which is Business Excellence Blueprint, which is the 5 building blocks to scale your business, Finance for Directors and Executives, which is worth $997, Achieving Boardroom Excellence, which is worth $997, the Governance Edge, as well as Business Fraud, Knowing the Unknown, where how you can detect fraud. So you get all these bonus courses. Again, lifetime access. It's an online portal, online place, so you'll get lifetime access to that. So we'll move to the next slide, please. And your investment, if you want to invest, this is only $997, limited time period. The price is going to change anytime. And the catch is this: there are two things. First is, I've got an affinity for the developing world. I come from Kenya as well. And what it is that I know very many companies are struggling. So this is why we've kept the price point very reasonable. But the second thing is, my pledge is that what I want to do is, if you can refer three leaders who can take advantage of this particular whole bundle, that is what the whole pledge is. Because I've got a mission, I've got a purpose of 5 to 7 years to serve 50,000 leaders and directors by that particular period. So that is my pledge. Those are the two things, and this is why I've kept it as a no-brainer. Only $997. And so just move to the next one, because I just want to make sure that is. So what else is there? There are only two mainstream program. I've also released another program which has become a high performing director in 90 days, and you get it at the price, $500. It's at $1,000. Normal price is $1,997, but you'll get it at $500. And that has succession planning. It's got ESG. It's got all the core components of becoming a high performing director, world class director, in my opinion. And it's going to give you impact, and it's going to give you everything you need. So if you are interested, please let me know. I think, so you're going to share a link, or I can share a link. And while I'm doing that, any questions? Has anybody got any questions, please? If anybody has got any questions, please feel free to ask. So what do you want to add at this point? Sorry? Hi, Soin, you're mute, by the way.
Yeah, Vijay, there are no questions. I think you've put yeah, the links. Thanks.
Oh, I might have put the wrong link.
Yes.
I think I have put the wrong link here. Sorry, I might have just. Let me just put one more link. So you can either choose between these two programs that I have. If you have any questions, or if these links are not working, please email me. My email is vijay@rentadirector.com. All you need to do is click a button and you can get access. If you have any questions, if there's anything we can do to help you further, please let us know. I hope you enjoyed this particular session. We've made it as interactive as possible. Once again, we really apologize for the technical glitch that we faced, but we promise you that in future we won't have this sort of challenge. So, what do you want to add as a wrap up? If you can just wrap this session up.
Thank you, Vijay. And I think as a wrap up, what we have shared in this interactive session is basically the 5 different mindsets, 3 different disruptive strategies, tools which Vijay and I we will share on email, and Vijay has elaborated on the master program. In a nutshell, I think the the most aspect that we should look ahead is having a positive mindset and a growth mindset and adapting to the changes. As I had said earlier, these are some nuggets that we have shared in this program. We shall be carrying out more interactive programs like this. So I must say thank you for all joining us today. Thank you for the time. I'm sure you've all benefited out of the invaluable points that have been shared, insights that have been shared. Thank you, guys. Over to you, Vijay.
Yeah, thank you very much. Again, like we mentioned, because of the glitch, if anybody wants any session, if you want a free session, just let us know. So in and I are open, and we will give you some tailor-made insights if you want, as an apology of what had really happened, and we will be emailing you this particular toolkit. One thing, like I mentioned, and what Soin has mentioned, is the growth mindset is key as we move into 2024. Prepare from now. Prepare from now. Use your time sparingly. Leverage your time, because time is not going to come back. So you need to make sure that you use your time sparingly, and make sure that you set aside for professional development, your learning and development. That is a must. Whether you buy this program or not, that's entirely up to you. But your professional development is very, very key and crucial to the growth of your personal career as well as your business as well. So I wish you all the very best. If we don't talk before the end of the year, then I wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous new year, and a magical 2024 moving forward. So thank you very much.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.